Hello, friends online. I just wanted to share a little bit of what I've been learning today and yesterday in my journey into balancing mind, body, and spirit pertaining to body balance. So I'm sick. I don't know if you could tell. Like, my nose is all stuffy and runny at the same time. I had a sore throat yesterday, and last night I woke up. Like, I went to bed right at 8 p.m. last night, and I woke up at 11, and I felt like I was dying. I couldn't swallow. I was like all swollen and stuff. And I realized like that I have this habit of just like not doing anything for myself when I'm sick unless like I really am like miserable and I feel like I could die like right there, right then and there. And I started thinking about how it's likely because that's my baseline as a child who was medically neglected by their mother. Nothing was done for my sickness or illness unless I was really annoying about it, and it was just more convenient for my birth mother to do something about it than to let me keep being miserable. And so it's interesting for me coming to this nexus of understanding, because as a mother, and I've been a mother for the last 10 years, almost 11, and so as a mother, whenever my child is feeling sick, I'm always the first to like, okay, what can I do for you? We're going to get you this, that, and that. I'm going to give you natural remedies and some pharmaceutical remedies and some mental remedies and stuff. And I always want to do my best to bring him comfort in his illness. And last night I was just so miserable. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do for myself what I do for my son. And I was like, yeah, why don't I do that already, you know? But it's amazing. I'm already feeling better than I was last night, at least at 11 p.m. I'm still not 100%. I still would say I'm feeling sick, but I'm feeling able to manage life at least. And I don't know, it just seems so silly now that like I basically just made myself suffer for no reason because that was normal for me. Even though I didn't do that for my son, obviously. And so this kind of ties back into my whole journey through motherhood of like, I can treat myself with love the way I treat my son. Just because my mom didn't treat me with love doesn't mean I don't deserve love and care from myself. And it's been a really hard thing to come to terms with because it's kind of embarrassing when you actually realize, like, oh yeah, I've just been fucking raw dog in life for no reason. Like, I was just told, like, life is supposed to be, or just shown, like, life is supposed to be miserable, and I just kind of self perpetuated it. Um, but yeah, so there's something too, like, I kind of had come across this when I first started being a mom and, you know, being worried about your child's dietary habits, and especially for me, growing up with a morbidly obese mother who, you know, fast food, Chinese fast food, and pizza, and McDonald's, and, you know, Diet Cokes were like what we had to eat. It was all processed junk foods, and I've dealt with stomach issues my whole life, maybe partially because of that too. You know, we didn't get fresh fruits and vegetables as like options for snacks. That wasn't a thing. My mom would steam broccoli with no salt or butter, and that was my vegetables. So I thought I hated vegetables the longest time. It's just like, no, I just don't like bland, shitty vegetables. I'm not a huge fan of raw vegetables either. But yeah, so like when I first started having my son and started feeding him like real foods, because when he was a baby, I made all his baby food by hand, well, with a little blender, obviously not by hand. But you know, I was making all his foods, making sure he's got the right levels of nutrients, vitamins, you know, all that stuff. And I've even, you know, met with a nutritionist for him and everything because I just am uneducated, unknowledgeable in this kind of stuff. Because I literally was just, I, I don't know. My diet was Lunchables and Capri Suns, you know, as a kid, and it's not good. And so I started feeding myself the same foods that I fed my son for a while, and I noticed how much better I felt. And it's just so silly, though, coming back to, like, yeah, I should treat myself with the same love I treat my son. Like, why wouldn't I? But it's hard, I think, to not pull that into the conscious and to just let it keep riding subconsciously, that belief that like I don't deserve the same care as him. Because it's not true. Uh, yeah. And so I may not have learned how to care for myself from my mother, but I can learn how to care for myself from my mothering of my son. And it's working on great so far. I mean, definitely it helps me eat more fruits and vegetables, to eat what I'm giving him, because he eats fruits and vegetables at nearly every meal. Maybe not vegetables at breakfast, but he eats fruit at every meal, and then vegetables at 2 meals a day. And I just was never really given that kind of like base or foundation for like what nutrition is supposed to be, nor for like health. I just, when I was sick, I was supposed to be miserable, but I realized that that's not how it has to be. And I realized that for my son, but I realize it now for myself, and it's a good place to be at, in my opinion. Hopefully I will be feeling much, much better tomorrow. But yeah, it's a weird place to be, but I'm grateful for it, because it's wisdom. Even if there is a sense of like embarrassment and shame with not having known it before, because it seems so straightforward and no duh to me, but it's just when you are raised in neglectful or abusive home as a child, there's a lot of things that you don't realize are like normalized for you that are not normal or healthy or right to treat a child. And so it's a slow unlearning process, I think. Even when you become a parent and you're like, wow, I actually love my kid and I want to take care of them. That's what this is supposed to be. To translate it to yourself is a whole different thing, Here I am, a decade after becoming a mom, just now realizing that I don't have to suffer every time I'm sick. I can give myself, essential oils and vitamins and colloidal silver and whatever else I give my kid when he's really sick, to just kind of pump the sickness out of him. And it's working really well so far, because I tell you what, I usually feel sick for a lot longer. Within the last 5 years since developing mast cell activation syndrome, every time I get sick now, it's for like 2 weeks. But today, I feel better than I did yesterday, so that's a win in my book, and I'm just going to keep pumping myself full of vitamin C. And hopefully kick this sickness's butt before the end of the week. But yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit of that. If you're someone who grew up in a neglectful household where you weren't given proper medical care, and then you became a parent and you give your kid the proper medical care, but you're still not doing it for yourself, I just kind of want to make you aware of the fact that you do deserve the same kind of care you give your son or child or daughter or whatever. Even if you're not like a biological parent, if you care for someone and you grew up without care, try giving yourself a little bit of the care you give others, because you do deserve that, even if it's become normalized for you to believe that you don't deserve that care. We can normalize anything for ourselves, so I urge everyone to normalize taking care of yourself and loving yourself the way you'd love others with that good heart of yours. So I hope everyone has a good day, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye!